Hello. Good evening. Hello. Uh, is video gone? Is video coming? Hello? Is the video coming? Back. Oh no, I was not speaking. I was silent for some time. Maybe there was some kind of problem with the video, but now it should be fine. Okay, so we'll wait for 2 more minutes before. Was there a TA session today? Was there a TA session today? Okay. No. Gauri says no. There was, for some people it was there and some people it was not there. Thanks for letting me know that. We had. How's weather there? How's weather is good. Weather is good in Hyderabad. It's pleasant. It's very pleasant. Okay, students. It's not like this. Here in Delhi, it's cold. Yeah, I know Delhi is a little cold. That is true. Let's get down to business. Yeah. So you know something about Node.js, do you? We have discussed Node.js at various places. Node.js as a compiler for JavaScript. Compiler for JS, uh, and basically whenever you want to compile JavaScript uh, outside an environment, outside a web browser, you can use Node.js. We have also discussed something called as MongoDB. What is MongoDB? Can somebody tell me? What do you think is MongoDB? At this point, every one of you should have the answer for this. It's a NoSQL database. SQL DB. Okay. So far so good. We know how to work on given any given data point or any given we know how to write algorithms and programs that can run on Node.js. So we know how to write these programs. And we also know how to interact with MongoDB from uh, mongoose. From mongoose, we know how to deal with MongoDB. But we need some way of these programs to interact with MongoDB. We are not going to do all the data entry by our hands. We are going to use some program for inserting data into MongoDB. So Mongo shell is for writing directly to the data. But what you can have is a program that sits between the program you are writing and MongoDB itself. And that program is called as mongoose. It's a library. Let me write it in few words. Library. Yes, Vivek. Vivek, did you join a little late today? Hello? Were you there from the starting? We are today talking about mongoose, a library that can help you write data into your database. Oh, so did you talk to the backend team? What were they saying? Did you talk to the backend team or they're not helping you? Oh, I'll give you an analogy in a few minutes. Okay. Let me check. Just give me 1 second. Let me drop a message to somebody I know in the team. Let me hope that will help. Just give me a few seconds, students. This is important. Uh, team. Maybe they will have. No, I didn't switch off my video. So if I stop talking, do you think that I have switched off the video? What is the problem that is happening? I don't understand. Hello? If I go out of this, if I click somewhere else, Oh, if I click somewhere else, let me see. Uh, so if I click here, is the video gone right now? Hello? Okay, it's not gone. No, it's not gone. Uh, oh, if I don't click, then I don't know. This is a new setup that I have. This video camera is better than my previous video camera. This video camera is better than my previous video camera. That might be the problem because it gives 4K video. So sometimes maybe 4K is causing some problem. I don't know. Uh, I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any reason for this to cause any problem, but I don't know. I'm connected to a fast. Audio is also gone. Audio must be there now. I'll install some more softwares and it should work well. Okay. Anyways, as far as it is good, we are good. So, Vivek, today we are discussing about mongoose. Mongoose is a library to connect your node program, a program that is running on node with your MongoDB. You can connect a program which is running on which is running on Node.js. You compile it on Node.js, and it can insert or update or search values in your database. That is what Mongoose is. Does that make sense? Do you understand why that will be helpful? If you understand the need for the software, then we can discuss how you can use it. But if you don't understand the need for the software, then it's very difficult. Uh, so, for example, when I talk about hammer, anyone can use hammer if they know what it is used for. But if somebody tries to open a screw using a hammer, they are they are not they are going to face issues. They are going to face problems. So Mongoose is a tool that can connect your program to MongoDB. Sequelize. Yeah, it's you can think of it as an abstraction of MongoDB, but I would rather call it as an API for MongoDB. Ekta. Yeah. It is like an intermediary between MongoDB and your code. Okay. Why we are using it? What does it do specifically? I'll discuss specifics in few minutes. Basically, all the operations, Vishal, that you have done before on shell, Mongo shell, that all the operation that you have done on Mongo shell, sequelize. What is sequelize? It's like sequelize. Okay, maybe there is sequelize is a library for SQL. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's similar to that. Okay. Sir, mongoose are used any type of driver? Yeah, they can be used on any type of driver. That's not a problem. Yeah, sequelize is yeah similar to sequelize. There are different tools for specific purposes for the database, and whenever there is a new tool, all you need to do is just go to ChatGPT and say, "Tell me more about this tool," and it will give you a write up of 200 words. That's gonna be everything you need to know to get started on the tool. Yeah, syntax is simpler. There are a few parts to the syntax which I am going to come to in few minutes. But let me discuss how you go about working with mongoose. Uh, there are a few steps, and if you understand those steps, I mean these are basically if you are developing mongoose or if you are using a software, if even if you have never heard about mongoose, you should figure out how to use mongoose, or you should have a solution. So let's play a small game. Let's try to guess what a software what a software connect with mongoose, with MongoDB should do. And that is probably what the people who have written, because the people who have written these software are very smart people. They're very smart. So you can just trust that whatever is the most commonsensical way of creating this software, uh, they would have used the most commonsensical way. Suppose you want to use mongoose. What will be the first step? The first step one will be to install mongoose. Okay, install mongoose. That will be step number one. All of you could have guessed this. If you are going to use the software, you at least need to install it. Step number two, import it into your file. Import mongoose to your file. Okay. Step three, connect. Yes, connect to MongoDB. That's the next step. MongoDB. So MongoDB is running on a port on your computer. It is like a place where you can communicate with MongoDB. Just like Mongo Compass communicates with MongoDB on localhost something 27017. Similarly, you need to connect your mongoose to that URL. Does that make sense? Are these three steps making sense to you? Very simple. And these 3 hours should be enough to learn everything about mongoose. There should not be anything after these 3 hours that you need to do about mongoose. Okay, I mean, you should not have to Google anything. You can directly go to the documentation after this talk and find out what you are looking for. So don't Google anything after this talk. Always go to the documentation and learn from there. So anyways, connect to MongoDB. And once you have connected to MongoDB, step 4 is define a data model. So there are 2 steps in step 4. First is to define a data model. Data model is nothing but synonymous to collection. It's a collection. Whenever you want to create a collection, you create a data model similar to it. Okay? Does that make sense? If you want to use a user collection, you will have a user data model. If you want to have a student collection, you will have a student data model. Simple. Define a data model. Once you have defined a data model, you can basically start inserting it. So there are 2 steps. Yeah, it will get connected to controller. That is true. Sir, create a model. Which type of on ORM are used? You can directly create a model. Once you import mongoose, you can create a model directly by calling an API. Okay. So all you need to do is mongoose new mongoose.student. No, what is the code for that? Just give me 1 second. There's a simple code for that, which is mongoose.model. Once you do something like new mongoose.model, you have to pass some parameters, and that creates a model for you. Okay. Sir, a model, which type of ORM are used? Yeah, that directly you can use the API. Then it will get connected to controllers. Yes, that is true. Perform CRUD. That is true. After this, all you can do is perform CRUD. But there is one thing that is special about this. When you define a data model, there is an option to define a schema. And it is highly recommended whenever you define a data model in Mongoose to define a schema for that data model. Okay, and then you can do CRUD on that data model. So those are mostly the options. Okay, Suraj lost his net. Suraj, what you need to do is there's something called as mongoose.model, which is similar to collections. It is a type of data that you are going to save in in your database. So you define that type using new mongoose.model, and then you can save and insert. You can insert, delete, and find things in your database afterwards. So those are the 5 steps that you generally want to do. So define schema, can elaborate more? Yes, I will elaborate. Do you remember schemas I was defining before when I was talking about it in one of the lectures? It was the second lecture on MongoDB. After the intro, I defined a lot of schemas, Corey. You remember that lecture? Yeah, in Mongoose, yeah, I define how to do it in MongoDB. In Mongo shell, I've defined it, and then what you are going to do, you are going to do similar schema design in Mongoose. Mongoose can also define a schema. Uh, there's a API which is new mongoose.schema, and you can define a schema. What is the difference between data model and database? Database is a place where you store a lot of data, and data model is kind of an abstraction of data. Like your data will look like this. It's like an API. Data model, you can think of data model as an API, and database as something that stores the data. Okay. So, for example, Mongoose is a data. MongoDB is a database, whereas Mongoose provides you with a data model. Data model, you can call functions on top of it. You can call it from your program. Does that make sense, Nayan? Yeah. How to do in data model? I'll explain that. Gauri, I'll come to that I'm going to spend all today's lecture on these 5 steps only. One step at a time, we are going to spend more and more time. And most of the time will go into this step of defining a schema. There is you have to define, for example, if I'm defining a user data model, I'll have to pass the user schema as a parameter. First, I have to define the user schema and then pass it along. Syntax of schema will be very similar. Uh, Vivek, schema, do you remember the second lecture that I took where I was talking about you can have schemas about your data, about your collection, how the documents in your collection should look like? Similarly, in Mongoose, you can define how the objects in your data model will look like, so that you are not putting garbage values into your database. So you can define a schema like that. Okay. Any other questions? If there are no more questions, why don't we start doing these steps together? Maybe I'll start sharing my screen, but first you'll have to give me some time to open the folder. Once I open the folder, I'll start sharing the screen. And so basically make code which connect to MongoDB and create data model. That is and then interact with that data model, Nilanjan. You can also interact with the data model. You almost got it correct, but you just forgot the basic reason why we are doing it all. We are doing all this all this hard work so that we can talk to our data. Okay, sir, I'll ask later. What do you want to? I have one. Oh, no. Ekta, please ask. Please ask. Sorry, I didn't read your question. Sometimes if there is no question mark in front, I subconsciously forget about the question. Yeah, you can please come on your mic. You are most welcome. Please come on your mic.
Hello. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, Ekta, you're audible.
Yes. So I had this confusion. Like in the previous module, we used SQLize. That was an ORM for SQL.
Yes.
It was kind of an abstraction, as I mentioned earlier. So can we say that mongoose is doing like kind of similar to what SQLize is doing?
Yeah.
So sometimes I get confusion, and sometimes I'm like kind of scared that like if in an interview if I get asked this question, so what if I like just mess up the definition? So can we say like it is just used to connect our Node.js to MongoDB as you mentioned? So we'll write our like code in JavaScript using mongoose. So it's nothing. Is it like similar to SQLize ORM?
Just give me 1 second.
Connection there.
Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Yes, Ekta. Let now I understand what SQLize is. Sorry, I was not aware of. I guessed about it, but I was not totally aware about SQLize. So now let's talk about it. Okay.
Okay, so just wanted to clear this out that is my understanding clear?
Yeah. So I'll try to make the whole thing clear to you, and I think this is a very important topic. So I'll just create this and SQLize and mongoose. Okay. So let's say you are designing. So you understand the basic concept is correct. Okay. SQLize is used to connect. So let me write it properly first. SQUELIZE. SQLize is there to connect Node.js to MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, etc.
Yeah.
And Node.js is there to connect Mongoose is there to connect Node.js with MongoDB. Okay?
Yes.
Now, even if you don't know about SQLize, suppose you don't know about SQLize and Mongoose, and somebody asks you a question, what is the difference between the two? Only thing you know is that it is there for connecting this to this, and this is there for connecting Node.js to MongoDB.
Yes.
First thing you should say is, since MongoDB is a document database, okay, the model that you are going to create here is not going to be object relational. Here you are creating object relational model.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Relational model. So what happens is you have a bunch of table. Each table is an entity, and whatever you want to insert into that table goes through that entity. Okay. Here in mongoose, you use something called as object document model. Okay.
Yes.
Because this is a document database. Now here, similar tables, you have collections, and every collection is a model that you want. Here, every relation is a model. Here, every document, every collection is a model. Okay.
Yes.
One major difference between Sequelize and mongoose is Sequelize has support for joins. Okay. Support for joins. So what you can do in Sequelize is, if you have two tables, you can write both of them are entities. You can get some kind of join between the two tables. Okay.
Yes.
But this does not have native support for joins, because joins are the reason why we are moving to MongoDB. So native support is not there. Okay. You can circumvent the thing, but you don't get it off the shelf.
But basically here everything is independent. Like each and every document is just how do I put it?
Yeah. Each and every document is like a file that you save somewhere.
File, exactly, sir.
So now what happens is, all this object document model does is it what do you say? It makes the documents uniform across the shelf. All the documents will be similar if they go through mongoose. They will have some kind of a schema attached to them.
Yes, sir. Like validators we used it.
Like validate, exactly. They will have a schema validation step involved. Whereas in object relational model, the schema comes from SQL itself. Okay. So.
Okay, sir. I understood. Yeah. Actually, the problem was I have used mongoose a few times without, particularly understanding. Like, okay, it is I just had an idea that it is some sort of abstraction over MongoDB, but what was exactly its function? So now I understood. So clearly.
Yeah. So how do you go about using something without understanding it?
So I did, it is some sort of, I just correlated Sequelize and mongoose. But this object document model, it was this term here, it was some sort of I was not that blank, but I still needed a very thorough understanding.
Yeah. That is true. If you just think about it a little, you will get it. But so for example, I didn't know about Sequelize, but as soon as I understood that it is for, and then I just I just did a small search on it, and I understood what is the difference. Okay. And now if you ask me to use it, I can use it. I can also tell you what are the steps that are involved in doing Sequelize. Okay. First, you will import it. Again, you will connect it to your PostgreSQL or MySQL connector. You will define your entities, and then you will start inserting or deleting from those entities. That's all you do in Sequelize. I have not seen the documentation, but I am confident about those steps.
Here, mostly we have commands. In SQL.
So
yes.
So that would be the general way you can go about. So if you know 15 technologies, you can have idea about much larger set of technologies from there. Okay. A good guesswork can take you a long way.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Sure. Thank you so much.
Sir, have you heard about ODM called Prisma, which can be used to connect to both SQL and NoSQL database? No, Arnab Banerjee. Native support for join means you can do joins. You can have commands that can do join between entities in Sequelize, but with mongoose it's difficult to do join between models. Models are different objects. You have to retrieve objects and then do join on your own. Can you please disconnect from your end? Oh yeah, I'll disconnect you. Sure. Okay. So it's not trivial to do joins. So the key point here is it is not trivial to do joins in mongoose. You can do it, but it's not that easy. That's all. That's what I mean by native support. It is not built for it. You can hammer a screw, but that is not what a screw is built for. A screw is built to be driven by a screwdriver. But if you want to hammer it, you can obviously hammer it. But you are going to fight against the tool. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry, Arnab, I don't have heard about Prisma. Uh, but it's a good idea to just learn about it a little. Prisma. Okay. It is not, sir. Now it's more clear, sir. Sir, shall we start now? Yeah, I will start. I will start. Okay. Uh, yeah. I was just looking at Prisma. Actually, it took my attention, so I just was looking about Prisma. Uh, it hardly takes half an hour to master any of these tools. Once you know one of the tools, it hardly takes half an hour to master the other tool. You can work with all of them. Okay. Just understand why the tool is used. And that is probably the reason why I spent like 15-20 minutes just talking about the intuition behind mongoose. I have not written a single line of code, but I just wanted to build an intuition about how to think about a new tool, because you are going to, even if I teach you everything about mongoose, what is the promise that in 6 months you will not be using another tool that you have not heard about? Okay, so it's better to have an idea about how to learn about new tools, and then you can work with them. Okay, so that's the idea. Now I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully I will be able to work properly. Yeah, this is work. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing I have been doing all along. I'm going to create a new folder, and that folder is 5 using mongoose. And today's date is 19th of December 2022. And inside this folder, I'm going to define a file. I'm not going to define a file inside this folder, so I'll just escape this. First thing first, you need to install. The first step that I've talked about is okay. Maybe I can define a file and then take it. So I'll just define a readme.md, and in this file, I'll define something called as steps to use mongoose. I'm going to write the same steps, so sorry for being repetitive, but I think it will be helpful for those of you who want to take notes or those of you who just want to remember it. So the first step is to install mongoose. Install mongoose. So you can install mongoose if you have Node. That is good. Second step is to connect to mongoose from program file. Okay, I'm going to write the code for this in a few minutes. And the third step is this is the third step. Second step is import mongoose module and connect to mongoose from program file. And then the fourth step would be create data model. This has 2 steps. Create data model is first new mongoose dot schema. You need to define a schema. So, and then the second step would be new mongoose model. These are the 2 steps of creating model. Notes help a lot to revise the whole class in half an hour. Thank you, Sakib. Sir, can I get the link for out of this? Mahendra, don't you have the access to the whole repository? Have I not given you the repository link? It is in the same repository, CRM app repository. You can get it from my link from my GitHub. Uh, yes, Hariharan has a doubt. I'm going to come to that after writing this last line. Do CRUD operations on data model. Okay, I'm going to give for the nth time. I'm going to give you the link to my GitHub repo. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Let me paste it. And by the time I'm pasting it, let me look at. Oh, Hariharan has given the link. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Hariharan. If I resolve it, what happens? Uh, Let me stop sharing and see what happened to that resolved link. Okay, this is the link. Just search for Anshul Yadav 007 and your thank you. Yeah. Okay. You just just search for Anshul Yadav 007 and you will find this GitHub link. I was too young when I created my GitHub profile. Come on, guys. People have made bigger mistakes in their youth. It's a very small mistake. Okay, so you can do CRUD operations on data model, and that's all the steps there are. So I'll go through each of these steps, and I'll show you how all of them work. The first step is to install mongoose. To install mongoose, open the terminal. I just do control tick and it opens the terminal. I go to cd crm app, crm backend, no crm app. Okay, inside crm app, I do no npm install mongoose and save. Yeah. If I do this, hopefully mongoose should install. No, I did something wrong. Just give me 1 second. I have to control C this. Come on, control C. Yes, I want to turn this off. First of all, go to that today's class. Don't corrupt the whole folder. Go to today's class and here do npm install. That should not cause any problem, but I'm just not sure. Sir, I think first we need npm in. No, you can do npm in it later. That's not a problem. You can just install mongoose and it gets saved, and we can do npm. Packages. Okay, now what you can do is npm in, and that is going to define your package name. Yeah, that is true. Package name. Sorry, you cannot no longer contain social. Okay, I'll just write using mongoose. Does this work? Version this. Description. Teaching. I don't know what save does. Let me see. I can do it from here itself. Just give me 1 second. I'll tell you. Whenever you are in doubt what a given command does, all you need to, I'll do that. Just give me 1 minute. I'll come to your question call. Teaching mongoose. And entry point date. Yeah, that is true. Test command. That is GitHub repo. That is keywords. Okay. Okay. Yes. And now your package.json is created. Now you are asking what does save do? To find out, I will do something like this. npm help. Okay. So test install. Okay, I'll do install help. Okay. They have options like save, no save prod. What are these options doing? Okay, now npm help install. Save option adds package to this dependency list, I guess. Okay. Now install a package. What is the save option doing? Save. Saves any specific packages into dependencies by default. Additionally, you can control where and how they will save to some additional flag. You can define that they will be okay. This saves that into default dependencies. That's what save is doing. If you remove it, then also it should work. There's no problem. So it's not needed. But it was written in the book, so I just wrote it. But it's not needed. So I can see new module package in VS Code, but after mongoose install, I can't mind. Save option adds package. We shall do it now. Yes. You should also continue with this. Okay. You should also work with me. Sir, I can see node modules package in your VS Code, but after mongoose install, I can't in mine. Where did you do the this command using install mongoose save? What is command to save? This is the command. Node npm install mongoose in VS Code that I know, but which folder did you do it, Nilanjan? Did you do it in the folder number 5? No, do it in this folder 5, folder 5, not in other folder. Go to this folder using mongoose and do it there. Then you will be able to see the modules. Okay, node modules. And use the save functionality. Yeah, you should create one. Can we do it with you? Yeah, you can do it with me. That is perfectly fine. That is the ideal way of doing these classes. Okay, this is not the ideal way. Ideal way is I'll just give you these 5 points and I give you like half an hour to do all of them on your own. And that is the ideal way of teaching it. But it's very difficult to do it in online program. If we were in offline setting, I would have ideally done that. I would have given you half an hour and told you to learn and use mongoose on your own. And then I would have given a 5-minute lecture at the end. But I cannot do that, and that is very helpful. If I can do that, I can teach you not just mongoose, but I can teach you how to learn any package in half an hour. Okay. Sir, I have done now. I have new modules. NPM mongoose save, right? Yes, and install npm install. Minus I'm not sure how to do it in a single character. You can do mongoose install npm install mongoose. This command here. You have to use this command. I think I will work, but you have to do dash afterwards. Let me see what was the code here. Install is there, but I don't see it written anywhere, so I don't know. We did npm init and npm I installed mongoose only. Yes, exactly, Aradhya. Only these two things. First I installed mongoose and then I did npm help. I did some help things, but I just did npm init. Okay. Okay. If it works, it's good. So we have done the first system. I heard we have done the first system. Wait for do it. Some of you might have a slow internet. What is plus? Okay, these are the packages. Uh, Baba. npm init. Yeah, just do npm init. That's okay. That is going to define the packages. Okay. Now, so I'm going to write those 2 lines here. So there's those of you who have missed it can do it later. First line is npm install mongoose save, and the second line is I'll give a space npm init. And what you need to do is uh, cd, whatever is the folder name, 5.5 using dot forward 5 mongoose 19th December 2022. Okay. So you can do this, and then you can do npm install mongoose, and then you can do npm. Very simple. Now, once you have created this, you need to import mongoose into a file, and for this we are going to define a file called as index.js. First of all, let me delete this folder. It is just troubling me. This is outside the chapter 5 folder, so I'm going to delete it. Okay. And I'm going to delete this package lock and package JSON. All of them are something I'm going to delete. Yeah. I'm only interested in the current directory. Did I delete from this directory as well? Oh my god. So I'm going to delete this also. I'm going to do again. Let me delete this. Okay, I'll start afresh. Control this. I thought it was in the outside. Yes, Vivek Patil has a doubt. I'm going to come to your doubt in a second, Vivek. Let me just put my installation on. Yeah, I'll install this. Let me see what is the doubt. Sir, this error. What is the error? Answer doubt. Stop sharing. Stall. Okay, this error is probably coming because you are not connected. You are not able to connect to node npm. You're not able to connect to save. Save is good. I don't know what save is doing, sir. But this error is coming because you're not able to connect to nodes repository, Vivek. Uh, there is some network issue on your computer that is causing. Dollar is not something he is putting. Dollar is coming from the terminal itself, Vishal. So the dollar is not something that he is putting. But what you need to do is you need to see how to connect to why is this connection not coming. Uh, are you getting some kind of uh, what is it called, network access window coming up when you run this command? No, I'm not talking about command. I'm talking about network access. There are some kind of panels that come when you have to allow access to a program. Very good, Karan. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me search for this error. Unable to verify leaf signature. Sure. Can you try? No. I think when I change the window, it turns me off. I'm sorry. When I change the window, it turns me off. I'm sorry for that. Uh, but try this command, Vivek. npm cache clean force. First try this command and see if it is working afterwards. Okay, npm cache clean force. What you're happening is uh, either there is some problem with your config file of npm, or there is some problem with your internet connection, because mongoose is written correctly. Did you try this npm cache clean force, Vivek? Okay, just once you are done with that, just let me know. No, there may be administrator issue, but uh, yeah, maybe you need to run the VS Code using administrator rights. I'm not sure. Uh, but let's try with npm cache clean first. Check if there are any specific symbol. Okay. Yeah, maybe try. So did it work, Vivek? Did it work after npm cache clean? Okay. Taking time. But is it running? Are you getting error? How many lines of code? Still no. Still it is not running. Okay. Uh, no. Just give me 1 second. Maybe last thing you can try is node npm update. I think maybe your npm is old. npm update.
Manish Bacha.
Did you try npm update? Error. What is the error you are getting with npm update, Vivek? Unable to verify leave signature. Sir, I searched about save. It was actually necessary to use it, but before custody depends not mainly to yes. Yeah, that's what I also understand. Did that work for you, Ekta? Did that work in installing globally? Did that work there? Okay, updated. Now can you run that npm install mongoose save? I mean, you don't need to write save, but npm install mongoose. This works? This works? Can you confirm, Vivek? Okay. Okay. I'm just curious if it works. Maybe that's the other problem with your code. I'm just waiting for Vivek. And then once Vivek is done, we'll know how it is working. Taking time. Okay, it took time last time also. Maybe it is not going to work. Just let me check. Package. Folder package.tl.
काम कर करके ई जगह उधर देखो
Okay, it's not working. Maybe you need to change your config file. Your config file has this global thing. This global is written like this. It should be written as location global. So that's what you need to. So the best thing I can tell you right now, Vivek, is to just install npm and install it again. Did you install it? When did you install npm? Four months ago. Okay. Uh, okay. Anyways. Uh, can you use global? Can you use the global keyword there? Global install. Can you try this? Can you Vivek? Can you try just last thing? Otherwise, I'll cover this in. Can you try this? npm install -g mongoose. Can you try this, Vivek? Otherwise, I'll cover it in some other lecture. The problem is I'm not in. Oh, is it using CMD command prompt, command line prompt? Are you using command line prompt, Vivek? Okay. Okay. No. Yeah. It looks like. No, I don't know what terminal you are using, so I cannot comment. The terminal, I know that PowerShell is what you need to use. Vivek, can you tell me whether it worked? npm install -g mongoose. So in VS Code, what you need to do is you need to start this one. In VS Code, when I run commands, I have these all options to use. There is Ubuntu, WSL Linux. There is terminal. That is also you use Bash, Git Bash. Okay, maybe you can use PowerShell. But that's for some other time. Did that run? Did doing it globally run for you, Vivek? I wish I was on your computer right now. Okay, it ran. Thank God. Ah, that feels so good. No, it didn't run. Why are you giving me all kinds of hopes, Vivek? It didn't run. Okay. Uh, can you do this? I'm not giving files. Okay, okay. I'll go on with the class. Yeah. Sorry. This is the problem. Uh, just while I'm taking the class, try to give me the answer to this question. Run this command config list and let me know what you're getting. npm config space list. Please print this and tell me what you're getting. Okay. Just paste it as a doubt. npm config list. Okay, I'll continue with the class. So first thing was this: install the library. Vivek has shared that. No, Vishal has joined. Okay, so you are here. Package was installed. Package was this. So those were the two steps you need to do. The last, so I've installed package and I'll have to do node init, npm init, npm init. That should work. Okay. Package name is using mongoose. Okay, package name should be using mongoose. No, enter is not working. I tried enter. Enter point node.js, test command, you try license. Yes. Whatever. Okay, now we need to define touch. I will not write touch because you will get confused about it. I'll define it from here. The file is index.js. This is the file. And now in this file, we'll do the second step, which is to import mongoose module. How do you import mongoose module? The code is very simple. All you need to do is const mongoose is equal to require mongoose. That's it. I'll save this. I'll go to my command and I'll do const mongoose is equal to require mongoose. I'll save this. And sir, I have deleted node module. Is that okay? You should not delete. Why have you deleted it? You should keep node module in this folder. If it is outside this folder, you can delete. But if it is inside this folder, you should not delete. Okay, Harihara? Okay. So now you require mongoose, and now I'm going to run this code. What was touch? Touch just creates an empty file. So if I just do touch temp.txt, it is going to create an empty file called temp.txt. It's just a command that was on my hand. I was thinking of writing it, but then I thought it will confuse some of you and intrigue others. So I removed. What would I do? The same if import MongoDB instead of mongoose. It cannot import MongoDB. You cannot import MongoDB, Nilanjan. It's not a node package. You can only import MongoDB. Touch creates a new file. Yes, that's true. Touch creates an empty new file. Sir, what would it do the same if I import MongoDB? When I'm writing, it suggests me MongoDB. No, it might be coming from somewhere else. MongoDB you cannot import. You might be writing somewhere MongoDB, so it is suggesting you somewhere here in the schema or this. Okay. So when you are writing these files of a schema validation, etc., we are using MongoDB again and again. So it might be suggesting from there. Now I'm going to show you that this import works. So show that all I need to do is node index.js and enter. And if this runs, that means node MongoDB is mongoose is imported. So I'll take a short break now. because some of you will have to go for dinner. We'll take a short break, and in the short break, I'll try to read more about Vivek's problem. Maybe I'll discuss that after the class, Vivek. Okay. After the class, I'll discuss it with you personally. But location, cinema, okay. Okay, I'll help you out later. Vivek, try to send a screenshot of entire screen. Yeah, that is a good idea. Because your module is not installed. I'll push the code too. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. mkdir. Mkdir is the make directory is the for mine, sir. Yeah, for you, Nilanjan. Nilanjan, I'm saying to you that make sure you have installed mongoose. If you have not installed it, will, and you have to install it in the folder. Sir, it ran but showed nothing. That is okay. That is what is expected, Karan. It will show nothing. Okay, let's take a short break right now. Let's come back in 15, 18 minutes. Uh, let's come back at 9:35 so that you can have dinner. Yeah. Okay. And that's good, Nilanjan. You were at wrong folder. That's okay. Break till 9:35. See you at the end of 9:35. And we'll again get started with this.